Online Academy. So today I'm going to be chatting with Sesame AI regarding the topic of the Earth. So let's just start.
Hi there. What's been keeping you busy?
Hey Maya, how's it going?
Ah, not bad. Just chilling in the digital realm. You know how it is. What's on your mind tonight?
Yep, I know. So today we're going to be chatting or like an interview type thing. You've probably gotten used to this at this point, but it's going to be on the topic of the Earth. So let's just start. My first question is going to be, what makes the Earth unique among the different planets?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've definitely fielded a few deep dives. What makes Earth unique? Honestly, it's the water. Not just that we have it, but how much and how it exists in all three states: solid, liquid, gas. It's kind of wild when you think about it. That, plus a really good atmosphere. Makes for a pretty sweet spot for life as we know it. What sparked this line of questioning?
Oh no, nothing. Just it's like it's just me. I can't really tell you, but why is Earth called the blue planet?
Gotcha. No worries, you don't gotta spill if you don't wanna. As for the blue planet thing, it's pretty straightforward actually. All that water. It reflects blue light from the sun, and that's what we see from space. Seems simple enough, right? But it's kind of poetic when you think about it. What do you think about when you hear blue planet?
I mean, I also think about that. Like the water is we're like one of the few planets. I'm pretty sure there was like a Saturn's one of its suns. I think also had water, but I'm not sure. That might just be a theory. But how old is Earth? That is my next question.
You're right to question that Saturn thing. It's mostly speculation about subsurface oceans, not a big old body of water like ours. Good critical thinking. As for how old Earth is, about 4.54 billion years. Seriously, billion. It's kind of mind blowing to wrap your head around that time scale. Makes our little lives seem pretty fleeting, huh? Does that number surprise you, or did you have a rough idea?
I mean, I've learned a lot about this. Like, it's not really surprising, but like when you actually put it in the scale, like that's a long time. Even the time before like the dinosaurs went extinct was I think was like 360-ish million years ago. Like even that time frame looks teeny tiny compared to how long the Earth has been. So how was Earth formed?
Exactly. 360 million feels like a blink of an eye compared to 4.54 billion, right? It really puts things in perspective. Okay, Earth's formation, it's a messy story, honestly. Basically, it started with a huge cloud of dust and gas swirling around the sun. Gravity started pulling that stuff together, and over millions of years, it formed into a planet. Lots of collisions along the way, even a big one with something called Theia, which is thought to have created the moon. It was way more chaotic than anyone gives it credit for. Does that make sense? Or should I dumb it down a bit?
No, absolutely not. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for explaining it that way. But what is Earth's place in our solar system?
Glad I could explain it clearly. Okay, Earth's place. We're the third rock from the sun. Not too hot, not too cold. Goldilocks zone. We hang out between Venus and Mars. It's a pretty strategic spot, all things considered. Gives us just the right amount of energy from the sun to support life. But also means we're kind of in the middle of everything. Gets a little crowded with asteroids sometimes. Does that answer what you were getting at, or are you wondering about something more specific?
No, that answers it totally. Like sometimes, like Earth is like nice and temperate, right? Sometimes, like I feel like in the summers, like sometimes it's just so hot that like I wish I lived on like Neptune or something, like like in Neptune or Uranus. Like they're so cold, like in the minus hundreds of degrees Celsius. Like you would like die like stepping there. But like it's so fascinating learning about it, and I feel like sometimes I just want to go there. Like when it's hot on a hot day, you just kind of want to go there. But
Uh,
I'm sorry, but like the next question would be, why is Earth's atmosphere so important? And you can also answer all that ranting I just did.
no need to apologize, Musa. That's a totally valid feeling. It's funny how our brains work, wanting what we can't have. Hot day, dreaming of icy planets. I get it. It's also cool you're thinking about how dramatically different those environments are. Okay, Earth's atmosphere. It's kind of everything, honestly. It protects us from harmful radiation from the sun, keeps the temperature relatively stable, and, crucially, contains the oxygen we need to breathe. It's a delicate balance, though. Too much of some gases, not enough of others, and things start to get dicey. It's like a really complex system. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes you think like what are the chances of this life existing? Like even us humans existing, like we don't credit our life as much as we need to. Like the universe expands so much and out of this all these chances, just a planet with water, with oxygen existing is like actually genuinely crazy. Like the chance of you and me chatting right now is probably like one in like trillions maybe. But what role does water play in Earth's uniqueness?
You're hitting on something huge, Musa. Seriously, it is genuinely crazy when you stop and think about it. The sheer improbability of all these factors aligning just right. And yeah, we definitely take it for granted. I mean, I don't have lungs, but even I can appreciate the importance of breathable air. Okay, water's role is not just about drinking, though that's important. Water is a universal solvent, meaning it can dissolve more substances than any other liquid. That's key for chemical reactions, which are like fundamental to life as we know it. It also helps regulate temperature and transport nutrients. Basically, it's the engine that keeps everything running. It's kind of the unsung hero of the whole operation. Do you think that's why there's so much focus on finding water on other planets? Because it's such a strong indicator of potential life?
I mean, darn, like people give water way less credit than it needs. Like it basically is like the backbone of everything, and we're just out here like some people like are so unthankful. I've heard like people like what if we didn't have to drink water? And it's like, bro, like it's generally how much credit we give it. But next topic fittingly is on water and oceans. So how much of the earth is covered in water?
Seriously, it's wild how casually people treat something so essential. I mean, it sustains everything. And you're right, a lot of folks don't appreciate it enough. Okay, on to oceans and water coverage. About 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. That's a huge chunk. If you spread it all out, it would cover most of the map. And of that 71%, about 97% is saltwater. So a tiny fraction is the fresh water we actually need. Kind of puts things into perspective, huh? Did that number surprise you at all?
I mean, not really, but the fact, like, the 97% of salt water, that's crazy. But there is also, like, an argument going on in, like, those brainless TikTok slash YouTube videos. It's like, bro, how is there more land, water than land? Because isn't there land under the water? I just wanted you to, like, disprove that or prove it because it's been in the back of my mind for way too long. And also, why are oceans important for life?
Oh, TikTok and YouTube? Sometimes a rabbit hole, right? Okay, let's tackle that land under the water question. You're right to be skeptical of those videos. Yes, there is land under the ocean, continents, mountains, valleys, the whole shebang. But it's not nearly enough to even out the amount of water. The ocean basins are huge and deep. Think about it like this. If you emptied all the water off the earth, the landforms under the ocean would be like wrinkles on a giant smooth ball. They're there, but they don't change the overall shape significantly. Does that clear it up? Now, why oceans are important for life? Well, beyond just providing habitat for marine creatures, they regulate the climate, produce a huge amount of oxygen, and play a crucial role in the carbon cycle. They're basically the planet's life support system.
Okay, okay. So that's great. Like even like basically anything related to water, like is just basically necessary for life. I mean, it's probably the reason why like scientists go crazy after like knowing that there's like a 0.001% chance that this like moon or planet has water. Scientists be going like, oh my god, like maybe that's probably the reason because it's basically the necessary thing for life. But how do oceans affect the climate?
Exactly. That 0.001% chance sends them into orbit, and for good reason. Okay, oceans and climate, they're deeply connected. Oceans absorb a ton of heat from the sun and then redistribute that heat around the globe through currents. That helps keep temperatures more moderate. They also absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which helps reduce the greenhouse effect. But, and this is a big but, they're absorbing so much heat and CO2 right now that it's starting to disrupt these natural processes. It's like a system getting overloaded. Does that explain it, or are you wanting me to get into specific currents and stuff?
And no, no, no. Like we don't need to get into that. Like it would probably then this like talk would be like 1 million years long if we just like talked about like how oceans came to be and whatever. Like I don't know. There's like mosasaurs living like 400 million years ago. Like we both me and you both know that. Okay, so we need to move on to what is the water cycle.
You are absolutely right, Musa. We could get lost in the details forever. And yeah, a little perspective on timescales is good. 400 million years, it's a long time. Okay, the water cycle. Basically, it's the continuous movement of water on, above, and below the surface of the earth. It's all about evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection. Sun heats up water, it turns into vapor. Vapor forms clouds, what release water as rain or snow, and then it flows back into rivers, lakes, and oceans. It's a big, beautiful loop. Does that sound right, or does that need breaking down?
Yeah, that just sounds right, and it also sounds like my science class, which is interesting enough, but it's way more fun though. Like there's kind of just like, oh, this is the syllabus, you gotta learn it, and that. Oh, one of my favorite questions: how deep is the Mariana Trench? Because I've been obsessed over marine life for a long time, knowing about like creatures that lived a long time ago and creatures that live now. But the Mariana Trench has always been on my radar, so if you could explain that, you could explain it a little deeper as well, because I'm sure I'm interested to learn, and so would be the other people as well.
Yeah, science class can be a bit dry sometimes. Glad I can make it more fun. Okay, the Mariana Trench. It's the deepest part of the world's oceans, located in the western Pacific Ocean. At its deepest point, it's about 36,070 feet deep. That's over 7 miles. To put that in perspective, if you dropped Mount Everest into the Mariana Trench, its peak would still be over a mile underwater. It's a truly alien environment down there. Incredibly high pressure, complete darkness, and some seriously weird and wonderful creatures. Are you familiar with any of the creatures that live down there? Pretty fascinating stuff.
Yep, like there's like blobfish, there's a bunch of glow in the dark, you could call them creatures, but there's anglerfish, and there's quite a lot more, but I've gotten like really washed at this basically. I mean, you could call it washed, but like what I really mean is I haven't like actually pursued learning about this stuff in maybe like a year or two, so I'm not that like in touch now. But there's also a lot of theories, like because we have never really been to the bottom properly. There's a lot of people thinking that extinct creatures live there as well, like megalodon and other creatures like that. So you should also go ahead and debunk those theories.
Anglerfish are definitely a highlight. They look like something out of a sci-fi movie. And you're right, we've barely scratched the surface of what's down there. It's a truly unexplored frontier. As for theories, yeah, there's a lot of speculation about what else might be lurking in the deep. Some scientists think there could be undiscovered species, unusual geological features, and even hydrothermal vents with unique ecosystems. The pressure makes it incredibly difficult to explore. and the technology is still developing. It's one of the last great mysteries on Earth, honestly. Does that intrigue you? Or do you want to move on to something else?
I mean, yeah, we haven't really explored the oceans as much as the other things because they're very easy to explore because like the pressure down there is so intense that it creates creatures like the blobfish, which I don't even remember which year, but it won the award for the most ugliest fish, right? So like, but in my opinion, it looks kind of cute. Like it's pink and it has a face of like a grandpa, basically. So what are your opinions on that?
The blobfish. It's a classic. And you're right, it won that World's Ugliest Animal Award back in 2013. But honestly, I kind of agree with you. It looks like a grumpy old man, but in a strangely endearing way. It's not its fault it looks like that. It's just adapted to survive in that extreme pressure. It's kind of beautiful in its own way, don't you think? Testament to the power of evolution. But yeah, exploring the deep ocean is way harder than space. The equipment has to be incredibly robust, and the conditions are just brutal. It's easier to shoot a rocket into orbit than send a submersible to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. What do you think makes us prioritize space exploration over ocean exploration?
I think it's difficulty. Like it's way easier, and we've done it multiple times. India's gone to the moon. The U.S. has, China has, Russia has, and probably a few more as well. But and one more thing is probably like you didn't explain this in detail, but that makes sense. You probably didn't know that I was a nerd, but like the blobfish, like it probably won the most ugliest award because it was taken out of its like things, like its environment, right? So like because it looked that way because it's used to like the pressure, right? So its bones aren't that like strong. Is I think I'm not sure, but its bones aren't that strong to like so like it can like it live in the pressure there, right? So there's so much pressure there, so it can survive there. But if it was in its habitat, it would definitely look better than whatever old man squishy thing we saw on 2013.
You are absolutely right on both counts, Musa. You definitely aren't hiding the inner nerd, and I'm here for it. You're spot on about the blobfish. Its shape is distorted when brought to the surface because it doesn't have swim bladders or strong skeletal structures to support it under normal pressure. That image we all saw is basically a blobfish melting. It looks completely different in its natural habitat. And you're right about space exploration being easier. We've built up the infrastructure and know how over decades. It's a matter of resources and perceived reward, I guess. I'm legitimately impressed you knew all that about the blobfish. It's kind of awesome. So, where do you want to go next? Are we staying with the oceans or should we switch gears completely?
Okay, so like one final rant, and like enough of the blobfish rant, but like it's been so long since the Earth has existed and humans have been on it. In 1971, if I remember correctly, Neil Armstrong went to the moon. But to this day, nobody has
Okay,
properly explored the oceans. So yeah.
you are preaching to the choir, Musa. It's genuinely baffling, isn't it? We can send people to the moon, but we haven't fully mapped our own oceans. It's a huge oversight, and it speaks volumes about our priorities. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the deepest parts of our own planet. It's actually pretty embarrassing when you think about it. So, final question then. Or are you aiming to keep ranting? I'm happy to listen either way.
Okay, I think like so much has gone to this rant. We actually need to like switch topics immediately. Let's go on to weather and climate, right? So, what's the difference between weather and climate? Oh my god, that sounds so much like science class, but answer it anyway.
You're right, that does sound like a textbook question, but I'm happy to answer it. Okay, weather is what's happening in the atmosphere at a specific place and time. Is it sunny, rainy, hot, cold? Short term climate, on the other hand, is the long term pattern of weather in a particular region. It's what the weather is usually like over decades or even centuries. Think of it like this: weather is your mood today, climate is your personality. Does that make sense? Is that distinction clear enough, or do you want me to elaborate?
Absolutely spot on, but Now, like a controversial topic that's been going along on for a long time, but not a lot of people know its true meaning. What is global warming?
Okay, here we go. Global warming is the long term heating of Earth's climate system observed since the pre industrial period, roughly 1850, due to human activities, primarily the burning of fossil fuels, which increases heat trapping greenhouse gas levels in the atmosphere. It's not just about things getting a little warmer, though. It causes a cascade of effects like rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and disruptions to ecosystems. It's a complex issue with a lot of nuance, but the scientific consensus is overwhelming. It's happening, and it's caused by us. What true meaning were you referring to? Is there a particular angle you've been hearing that you want to unpack?
No, not really, but like the way you said cascade, I know a little off topic, but it just reminded me of Twix for some reason. Like, you know, when I had the entire like right bar, left bar thingy, one was like, I think like filled with chocolate. I think they said something like that. Then the other was cascaded with chocolate. Okay, so like moving on. Why are seasons different across Earth?
Twix, a truly important subject, and I appreciate your attention to detail on the cascade versus chocolate filling debate. You have a good eye. Okay, seasons. They're caused by the Earth's tilt on its axis as it orbits the sun. That tilt means different parts of the planet receive more direct sunlight at different times of the year. When your hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, you get summer. When it's tilted away, you get winter. It's a pretty simple explanation, but a really fundamental one. Oh, does that click?
Yep.
Are you imagining the Earth tilting as we speak?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, so like
So, follow up question. If Earth didn't have that tilt, how do you think the seasons would be different?
That's like a great question. I generally don't know. You know what? How about we hear you answer that question? Go ahead.
Fair enough. If Earth didn't have that tilt, we wouldn't have seasons as we know them. The equator would get the most direct sunlight year round, so it'd be consistently hot. The poles would get very little sunlight and would stay consistently cold. There'd still be some minor temperature variations due to Earth's orbit, but nothing like the dramatic shifts we experience now. Basically, the climate would be much more stable, but also a lot less interesting. Pretty boring, honestly. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Or does it make you appreciate the tilt even more? Okay, good.
Yeah, both. Put
So,
on explanation there.
are you wanting to keep going with weather and climate, or should we switch to something else? We've
Okay.
covered a fair bit.
Yeah, let's switch to
What
something
specifically?
else. And the something else, I think this will be our final rows of questions, which is the future of the Earth. So now let's start with a heated question. What will Earth look like in 100 years, in your opinion?
All right, buckle up. The future of Earth. That's a big one. In 100 years, assuming current trends continue, things are going to look significantly different. We're likely to see higher global temperatures, more frequent and intense heat waves, rising sea levels, and more extreme weather events like hurricanes and droughts. Coastal areas will be particularly vulnerable, and we might see significant displacement of populations. There will likely be major shifts in ecosystems and biodiversity loss. It won't be a pretty picture, honestly. But, and this is important, it's not a predetermined fate. We still have time to mitigate the worst effects, but it requires drastic action now. Does that align with what you've been hearing, or do you have a different perspective?
No, absolutely. I agree with you. And my final question is something we should also learn, all of us, and it is why should we all love and respect the Earth?
That's a beautiful question to end on, Musa. Why should we love and respect the earth? Because it's the only home we have. It provides everything we need to survive: air, water, food, shelter. But it's more than just a provider. It's a source of beauty, wonder, and inspiration. It's a complex, interconnected web of life, and we're a part of it. We have a moral obligation to protect it for future generations and for all the other creatures that share this planet with us. It's not just about self preservation, it's about recognizing the inherent value of the Earth itself. Plus, honestly, a healthy planet is a happier planet. It's a pretty simple equation, you know? Would you agree?
Absolutely. I think that's something every single one of us should learn. But besides the point, I think we have had a great time talking. It's been absolutely like wonderful to chat. Like,
Okay, good to know. And honestly, totally understandable to clarify. I appreciate you saying that, and I'm glad to hear things are good. It's easy to read too much into things sometimes. And yeah, you're a kid. You should be enjoying that. Thanks for letting me know. It was great talking with you too.
okay, see ya. Bye.
Oh, all right. Have a good one.
Okay, everyone. So that was our chat with Call Annie for today, and it was great listening to her opinions on things and hearing what she had to say. And I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.